He's out of position. Isaac is the darling of the organization. They picked him. They invested a lot into him. They want Mo Bamba to play. They want Mo Bamba to succeed. They'd love to be able to
I'll tell
trade
you what.
Vucevic.
I watched Mo Bamba against the Knicks the other night.
Mm-hmm.
He is fucking talented.
Yeah, he's got something.
He hit a. He's the next guy. People are sleeping on him. He had a couple of plays the other night where like he would pump fake at the line, one dribble left, hit a three. He's talented.
No, it made me look at the what's the Knicks center's name, Mitchell Robinson, in a different way. Because I have so many Knicks fans around me. Hold on, I have so many Knicks fans around me that love that guy that it's almost like they're brainwashing me into believing that he's somewhat good. And I saw him play against Bamba. There's such a big difference. It's such a big difference.
Well, let's not even worry about Knicks fans. I mean, I think they're 1-5 now.
Yeah.
They are. And look, they have some talent. They're actually not that bad. They just don't have a point guard. I still can't believe to this day that they didn't make a big move to try to sign Russell. That was like a no-brainer to me. They should have done that.
Again, when I went on Evan Roberts' podcast, that's something I said. I said it makes so much sense that the Knicks won't do it, but I believe they can't be so stupid. And they went and got Elfrid Payton.
Instead of Randall, they should have just paid out the ass for Russell. Like
no, they could have gotten.
They could have signed them both. Yeah,
they could have signed them both. And how much better would they look?
Just don't sign like Portis and Gibson, who are bad players.
And Marcus Morris. Like, what do you need Marcus Morris for? You have Knox. It's ridiculous.
Which is funny because that's like a guy like Morris would be a godsend for the Nets with the four. Give him a little toughness, a little bit of shooting.
He's a shit. He'd be perfect for the Nets. The Nets need someone who's a master of shithousery. They need someone who just comes in and mucks up a game. Right now, the toughest guy on the floor is Kyrie Irving.
They need a ghetto player. They need a ghetto player that was showing up to AAU tournaments where his team didn't have the uniforms matching. He was like 30 when you should have been. They need that ghetto forward. They're like, we lost tonight because
he's injured like he's injured
like
3 dudes. He's known. There's been parents that have hired private investigators to find out if he's how old he really is.
Well, my dad was like, we lost, but this guy's 35 years old. Like we used to play AAU basketball, like the hood team, right? Like they would press you all game, play no defense, but you lose because they had that one guy that like you were 15, he was 18. I mean, like that hood player. That's what the Nets need.
Yeah, no, we need that guy.
Dirty. We need a little dirty, and it's not there on the roster currently.
The toughest guy on the floor is Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is running around the floor. He's yelling at his teammates. He's yelling at Kenny. What do you think about reports saying that he's a bit of a moody? I think every time they say moody, they really mean asshole. That Kyrie is a little bit of an asshole. Is he an asshole? Is it a problem?
There's only one reason why I don't care. Because unlike Darren Williams, he's not our guy. Our guy is on the bench. So once Kevin comes back into this lineup, the entire story about the Nets turns to Kevin Durant, and he fades to the background. It's going to be a problem this year. Kyrie's a fucking sick fuck. He's a nut job.
He's nuts.
It's just if he wasn't, he wouldn't be available.
But he's a fucking beast, though. Like, he had a bad game today.
I mean, right, and he scored, 25?
I think, I know he got over 20. I didn't get a chance to look. I don't know why I didn't look at his box score. I don't worry about Kyrie. It's everything else around Kyrie.
I don't worry about the team around him either, yeah.
No, I think that, like, people say, oh, he's a ball stopper. Are you kidding me? Who would you rather stop the ball than Kyrie Irving in the NBA? Right. And it's not that he's not trying to play with teammates, because he's setting guys up, but he's
a
just
little
better.
bit of a low IQ player. Like early in the first quarter, they're up 3 or 5. Harris is wide open. He tries a behind the back pass. It goes out of bounds.
Oh, that was horrible.
A wide open 3.
That was horrible.
Yeah, so like he has to learn. Like, yeah, you're unbelievable, but that's an easy play to get one of our best shooters a shot. So he has to learn those things, and I think he will. Like, I'm really not worried about this roster.
I'm very worried. I can't. I think tonight proves my thesis. I said it. I said it before the game. I put money on it. I was never worried about the Rockets because they're mirror images. That's what the Nets practice against every single day. And right now,
that
like
was
when D'Lo was on the team, D'Lo is not on the level of pressure that Harden puts on you.
Correct.
But when you have Kyrie, he puts such a level of pressure that it lets other players do well. Right. And because of that, I know 1 for 1, if they've got the size, if they could play their ball, they're gonna win. They're gonna beat teams that like they're gonna beat Boston too.
So Eves, you've been a big proponent of the lineups. Tell me this doesn't make sense. Take Harris out of the starting lineup, put Temple in the starting lineup. Now you have one less guy you have to worry about getting him shots. You don't have to worry about getting him off early, pause. And now you have a more balanced offensive lineup. You have some defense, more length. That's the move. You don't need all your scorers in a starting group.
So here's why I disagree with that. The reason why I disagree with that is because it still keeps Torian at the 4, and what we need is we need you like you said, we need that ghetto player. The ghetto player that we have on that team, believe it or not, and I know you don't like him, is Rodion's. But he could just come on.
Terrible. He's a terrible basketball player.
He's not. Listen, that was not a mirage. What you saw last year, that wasn't fake. That was real. When he came into the lineup, into the starting lineup, he helped turn around the Nets season. That's real.
Well, here's a fundamental difference that me and you can never get over. You think that Rodion is better than Dudley, and you're wrong.
He's absolutely better. Like how could you? Wait, hold on a second. How could you not look at the result? Like I could understand if we had that opinion before the season, but the Nets went 8-18. They were tied for last place with the Knicks with Dudley as a starter. That's real.
Bullshit. They were 6-6 before Karras got hurt. Are you ignoring that?
Well, Karras covers up a lot of sins, but Karras didn't come back when they went on that run. Karras was still hurt, and I'm telling you, sometimes what you need is someone who's just going to run the floor, who's going to actually be physical, who's going to throw an actual elbow. Like this is the thing with Jared Dudley. Jared Dudley rests for a week, doesn't play, and then he comes out and he just kind of outsmarts somebody. But by the time he plays the game after that one, his body is so shot that he can't do it again. It happened in the playoffs. It happened during the season. He's a horrible player. Why don't you believe his numbers?
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. It's May.
Okay.
It's a 1-1 series versus Boston. Who do you trust more with the ball in their hands, Kurucs or Dudley?
You're asking me? Do I want to drink poison? Well, do I want to drink formaldehyde? I don't like. You don't want the ball in Dudley's hands either. Like Dudley is a legit
Answer my
player.
question.
He's a strong,
who's going to make the smarter play?
The smarter play is not going to win the game, though. The smarter play is not going to defend.
That tells me you never played point guard.
No, I've never played point guard. That is true. I play shooting guard, small forward.
You're not looking at it.
And
look,
but my basketball.
In theory, Kurucs is better. I'm going to talk over you, even though it's your own show. Because this is Bam Bam show now.
Go ahead, man.
Typical white people. This is Bam Bam.
No, get it off your
right
show.
Now.
Get it off your chest because that's
I'm
what
getting
I have
off
the show
my
for.
show. Because in theory, Kurucs is a better player, but in reality, he's not. Every time Kurucs dribbles the ball, bad things happen. He's a 12th man on a good team.
Listen. Everything you just said is right.
He's wild.
Everything you just said is right.
Dudley,
but you should put him.
Yes, he's not going to make a play, but he'll make the right play.
No,
right pass, the right screen, the right box out.
There was a game.
That's what the Nets are losing right now.
No, hold on, Ben. There was a game that I watched, and I thought for sure that Jaren Jackson was going to get Dudley pregnant right on the court. He gutted him. Like, Dudley might not turn the ball over, but his inability. Do you remember that game in Philly where he came down the court, and he just jacked the shot because
which
Simmons
game?
was
we were better with him on the floor. In fact, the whole fight thing in Game 4 was a loss for us when he went out the game.
Listen, that is nonsense. I refuse to believe in witchcraft.
No, you're a hater.
I refuse. Yo, do you understand? Do you know that man shoots 33% from the floor? 33%.
What does Rudy shoot?
In the 40s, because he could actually dunk the ball. Listen, Rodion's
worse. I think the true percentage of Rodion Kurucs is worse than Jared Dudley's.
I can tell you exactly what it is. Hold on. So, and think about this. Jared Dudley's 31 years old. Wait, is he 31 or 32?
Look, I'm not trying to tell you Jared Dudley's the answer, but he's a better player than Kurucs right now.
And the most basic of stats don't agree with you.
That's coached them would agree.
He not only does he shoot 45%, did he shoot 45% last year? He got 8.5 points and 3 rebounds, right? Shitty numbers. No, excuse me,
right.
4 rebounds. Shitty numbers, right? But Jared Dudley, who not only started but has more minutes than Rodion's, because Rodion's got 0 burn to begin with. Jared Dudley only got 4.9 points per game.
Are you still trying to fire Kenny?
I know one thing that makes me sad about Kenny, because I'm not trying to fire Kenny. I wish Kenny would get some sense. I wish they'd put a defensive coach next to him. But Kenny's not going to be the coach that leads us to the promised land. That makes me sad to know that, because that probably means that we're not going to win a championship.
Let me ask you a question, though. Look at the last 4 NBA champions, coaches. Am I supposed to believe that Tyrone Lue is a good coach? Probably not. Nick Nurse,
good coach. Really good coach.
Probably, but it's mostly about the players.
There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. But you have to have a coach that's willing to adapt. And I think just like Lionel Hollins was stuck in the early 2000s to mid 2000s,
right.
Kenny Atkinson is stuck on that era when Budenholzer was playing small ball, D'Antoni was playing small ball. He's stuck in that lane, and the NBA has evolved. You have some skilled fours. Like, they're not playing back to the basket.
Are you ignoring that the Nets have one of the best players of all time?
He's
playing a spot that they're
He's a small forward, and just
lengthwise, scoring-wise.
Listen, just like Zach Lowe said.
Seems like you are.
And just like you just said, we need a hood player. you know, we need a player that's just.
You know,
we need PJ Tucker.